Righty-ho, we've been here before and we know the drill. Yes, I'm feeling a bit nasally, but I'm on my feet. So, we need 10 taps. 4 for the hell, 1 for the space, 4 for the yeah, and put a smile on this flued up face. Flued up face? Come on, folks. Fill that screen and let's get cracked on. Here they come. Martin Fletcher, I did not need to know that. Right. Let's do this. It is I, the Mel. And the colour's gone off again. It was fine before I went live. And yes, I am as ill as I look on the screen. Yeah, I'm feeling better, folks, after Sunday night. I had a 24-hour just fever it through. You know what I mean? I'm sort of like, I'm at that stage now where what's going on here? It's going to be one of those shows, folks. It's going to be one of those shows. Yes, I've just got the aches and hungry and the sniffles but I'm better. The head isn't boom, boom, boom anymore. So, Mel, we need to send more whatchamacallits. I've only got one whatchamacallit left. It's here. Out of, I think when I went to Adepticon, yeah. For those of you who don't know, whatchamacallit is, you know, bit of a term for us terraniacs. I use it quite liberally. Yeah. What I didn't know was there's a whatchamacallit chocolate bar. Yeah, in the States. And so when I went to Adepticon, I got, by you lovely folks over in the States, I got given about 3.5 boxes. Yeah, with 48 in a box. So I was walking around Adepticon with 150 of these. In the end, yeah, I had to give most of them away just because of baggage allowance. I mean, the sheer weight of boxes of chocolate. Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? I was flying just on hand luggage. Yeah, and so I had to give them away. So I signed them all. I just signed the back of them. And I went round on the last day of Adepticon going, who follows me on YouTube? And anyone who put their hand up, I threw them a chocolate bar. Yeah, but I've got one left. And I've had this. I think it's out of date now, which for American chocolate is saying something. Yeah, but I've had this now since last April. And even though there have been many times when I know how nice these are, I could have ate it, I haven't. And so I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it in a picture frame as a memory. Yeah, but yeah, I could do with some more whatchamacallits. So expensive to get in the UK, it's ridiculous. Patrick's live streaming himself. Welcome to the club, dude. You need a tan. I don't need a tan, I need to adjust the lights. I'm actually looking out. I'm a bit paley, to be truthful. Yeah. Cup of tea and plenty of biscuits to dunk. Well, I've got a coffee. We'll need to get your address and email and we'll send you some. You email me over, mate. So, in my, in my illness and my deliriousness, yeah, I've been messing around with the cameras and I've got a working setup for the desk. Yeah, I think we can do it. We can give it a go. So, obviously I'm flued up. Obviously I've said I want to go live. Yeah, I'm going to be going live Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday nights. Now, I've still got to get back into the videos, guys, and this is a get myself back on my feet thing. Yeah, but I want to keep connecting with you. So even though I'm flued up and everything, and I look rough as hell, yeah, we're in a good place. Yeah, I'm connecting with you, and that's the main thing. And I want to get building as well. I've been building and doing stuff in the background when it's, you know, but when you do it live and that sort of stuff, it sort of puts a pressure on it for me. Or it's been a while. So we're breaking into that easily. So we're going to go over to the desk in a minute, and I'm just going to start pottering and that sort of stuff, and we'll see where we go with this. So I need to pop out my live chat. Pop out my chat. Yeah, and let's drag that over to that window so I can see it there. Yeah, nice and big. In fact, let's put it so the mic isn't in the way. Yeah, live stream looks good. Yeah, we're all good there. Hey, this could work. Hey, calm down. I could have cursed it. Right. We'll look better on that screen. Rough. Better. Rough. Better. I'm going to watch myself on this screen. I'll look loads better. Right. There we are. Now, links down below if you like the show and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I've got the phone, so we won't miss any of those. Yeah. Hey Mel, fantastic to see you. We'll have to watch this later as I have to go to work. No worries, Simon. Right, let's change to the desk. Right, okay. I've got to get. Oh, ow! Work in progress, guys. You're working with me tonight. Mel's menage a trois. Mel, just like a menage. Never mind a trois. Right, so yeah, you can see me there, can't you? I can talk to you there. Yeah, that's okay. Need to adjust that picture a little. Yeah, but as you can see, the backdrop. Yeah. Right. Now we've got Bob here. Bob's waiting to start, do his debut. Come on, Bob. And so Bob's got droop. Come on, Bob. Don't droop now. Performance anxiety for Bob here. It's been a while for him. Back that light on as well. Let's get some. That's a bit better. Oh, don't like what that's done to the light. Ooh, no. Then again, you're here for the terrain, not my ugly face. Seriously, if you had a dark road and a hood, you'd pass for Ian Palpatine. Cheers, dude. It's the exposure. If you carry on like this, I'm going to have to start colour balancing and doing stuff like that. Right, let's switch on and let's get Bob some. Right, desk cam. That's not bad though. We can work with that. I can work with that. Right. There we go. So, let's pull out some pieces of terrain, make sure. Right, what do you reckon? If I'm working here, what do you reckon? We need it a bit. Come on, Bob. Come closer, Bob. Come to me, Bob. Bob's on his way. I think Bob is probably better bobbing down a bit. Oh. Don't droop, Bob. Not now. You're the star of the show, dude. You're drooping. Come on, Bob. That's it. You got this. Right. It's all on Bob, folks. Wish Bob luck. Okay. Come on, Bob. Don't worry. Rita and Sue have got it down to there. That's it. Mel, idea for the mini Mel as a space wolf on a thunder. Oh God, no. Now, quick update on the books. Yeah, let me just face cam it. Right, guys, quick update on the actual books. I haven't spoken with Dave because he's not sent me an update or anything, and I've been ill. Yeah, so I think he's just left me to it. But I saw on the Terrain Essentials Book Club Facebook group. So if you're interested in the book, yeah, and what you call it, you don't know about the Facebook group, the Terrain Essentials Facebook group, Book Club Facebook group, yeah. I saw Dave put a post in there earlier saying that Warlord are posting out what you call daily batches of the book. I've already seen people post that they've received the book in Canada, yeah, and Warlord are working to increase their what you call it the size of their daily batch that they're sending out, because obviously Warlord's got their own operation and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, they've been because of the scheduling and what happened with me and everything like that, obviously, you know, they've had to adjust their scheduling. They've been great with us and that sort of stuff. But yeah, they're trying to increase the amount they can send out per day. The important thing is the book's written, the book's printed, the book's at the Watchclub Distribution Centre, and the distribution centre is starting to send it out. So it's gravy. Yeah? Quick Runaways about execute order 66. Jesus Christ, you lot. Oh, I'm not having this. No, not having this. You lot are going to be taking the mick out of me for ages. Looking like bloody Palpatine or something like that. Ah, there, done. Let's leave it at that. Oh, look. Oh, look. Couple of clicks. No longer Palpatine, am I? Oh, look, Mel's got skin tone. Doesn't look like a ghost. Because it was the exposure. I was ill. I didn't colour balance the cameras. I'm using a different camera. Can we have a tour of the Mel cave? There's not much to have a tour of, to be truthful. But would you like to see it, folks, before we settle in? I mean, I can do that wiggly camera thing and show you. It could be worse. They could be saying you look like Admiral Thrawn. Jesus wept. It's like Palpatine in HD now. Oh, you shut up. Snort Mel. Do you know what? It's really nice to get the channel back to, you know, its normal self. I know it's been, you know, a while since I've done a stream in the week, and you know, loads of people won't even know I'm doing this sort of stuff, but that'll build up as it always does. Yeah, but it's amazing that the moment, you know, I get back to normal and I get back at the desk, you lot start taking the mick out of me. I mean, it's literally the entire comments. It's so nice, you know, to feel back at home, back welcome with. Oh, Jesus. Right. Let me show you. Tell you what, let me show you the man cave. Adepticon 2021 is cancelled. Here's to Adepticon 2022. Yeah, I did see the notice on that, to be truthful. I want to see the door to the chair. The door to the chair. Okay, that's interesting. That's because we love you, Mel. I know, Gary. I'm just glad I've got a little bit of like colour in me now. You realise I could actually colour balance and it made me look like, you know, I'm perfectly healthy and not recovering from like a massive flu Willow gave me. Right, tell you what, let's show you what you're going to. Let's show you the Mel cave. Right, better describe it first. Obviously, those of you who follow personal circumstances know I'm a single fella now. What you call it? The kids live with Kerry up the road. They're back and forth all the time. In fact, I had to kick. No, I can't. Oh, I dropped him in it anyway. If his mum's watching, she won't be. But I had to kick Corbin out. What you call it earlier? Yeah, because he'd turned up and then taken over the Mel cave. So in my own place now. This is. Well, I always said, you know, I always wanted a hobby room. Yeah, and one of the reasons I got the studios was when, you know, I was living with Kerry and the family and everything, didn't have the space, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, that studio took over the kitchen, for God's sake. Yeah, which is why I needed the studios. But with lockdown, with the illness and that sort of stuff, the studio's there. And this was going to be my dining room, come a little bit of a hobby room. And I mean, this table that my computers are on, that's my dining table. Yeah, with a bit of MDF on it. And with COVID, with everything this year and everything, never really got used as a dining room. Then it got taken over for me to do like the book work, specifically stuff like the basing PDF and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then after the book got done, it's like, right, time to make it back to a dining room. And I sort of made it first back to a dining room. And it was like, it's just going to be. I mean, the computers were upstairs in Corbin's room at that point, so was this desk. And it just felt like it's just going to be wasted space. You know, it's just going to be a room that I walk through from the front door, yeah, to the living room. Yeah, and it was like, no, you know, it's your home, Mel. If this is what you do, well, one, you need somewhere to work from home. Yeah, you got to work from home. Yeah. Two, you want a hobby space, and you don't want to be like, oh, it's a nice, pretty dining room that's empty for like, 90% of the time. And then, oh, I've got my stuff here so I can get it out nice and tidy and put it away so it doesn't spoil the look. And I thought, no, sod it. Have a really comfortable office, where I can have my studio lights and I can have my cameras and I don't have to worry about setting the computer up every time I want to, do a live stream, like sitting and getting backache in the living room. So I know I'm working on camera positions and stuff like that with you guys, but with regards to running live streams, it really is now a matter of coming in, sitting down, doing a couple of clicks. Yeah, whereas before it was get lights out, get cameras out, adjust this, run cables, I mean, I'm not even running off Wi-Fi. I've got a hardwire connection run through. You know what I mean? So it's a good connection. So it worked really well. You know what I mean? Actually, no, I'm going to dedicate this space. I mean, one of the things I've got to do is I've got to divvy up supplies because I pulled a load of my scenics and that sort of stuff from the studio, and I pulled the lot. I literally took the drawers, yeah, for doing the basing stuff. So I'd have everything I normally have for scenic stuff at the studio at home. So I've got to divvy that stuff up because it's all down here at the minute. Yeah, so I've got a bit at home, but I've also got it at the studio, so I don't have that awkward, oh, that's there when I'm somewhere else. So I've got that to sort, yeah. But other than that, it's quite a nice space. And one of the real benefits of it is that it's 2 desks. I've got like a proper office desk sort of thing here. And when I say a proper office desk, let's go to Bob. When I say a proper office desk, what I mean, don't stretch that cable. What I mean is, there you go. It's my dining table with a bit of MDF on, and you guys on the big screens with Rita and Sue there. Yeah? So, now, with regards to the house itself, yeah, to give you an idea of, let me just unclip that. Come on, Bob, we're going hands-free. Yeah? There's my studio lights, which are pretty set up constantly. I don't need that one at the moment. Yeah? That's my front door. Yeah? So that's literally where, if you knock on your door, on my door, that's where it goes. Now, over here, we've got Aslan. Yeah. Then we've got some black units. This is not the camera to do it on. Right, let's change camera for this one because I ain't going to be able to show you. Let's grab that one. Changing camera. Hello again. I can make myself look better on this, but you know. Right, so over on that side, yeah, we've got just a couple of black units, and then we've got all my paints, all my plastics, all my model paints, fillers, that sort of stuff. Down there, you can see the plastic drawers that I've literally ripped out of the studio. That's all my scenics. Yeah, absolutely all of them. All my specialist tufts, all my specialist scenics. Yeah, over there, that's the shelf of technology. That's where cameras and microphones go. Just peeking through there, that's my living room. Yeah. And then if you just go, the one wall you haven't seen yet is that one. Yeah, which is at the minute, that's just sort of junk. That's just sort of things I brought from the studio to make a backdrop and some of my games and stuff. That really I'll just take back to the studio because I need those shelves as working space. The skulls were Halloween. There's quite a few of them up there. Yeah, £3 from Asda. So I grabbed 3 because I want to make something with those. And oh God, that looks even worse. Right, I can't look at that. Right, AV inputs. I'm going to make a damn note to make sure I adjust the just the exposure on these because it's only 1 point. It just always overexposes itself. Hey, that's a bit excessive. That's a bit better. Is it white balance then? Yeah, it's white balance. Take up to about There we go. Done. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh, I looked really bad then. This is actually proper. I mean, those are the normal colours of my cutting mat. This is proper colour balanced. I'm not trying to make myself look better. I'm just trying to not make myself look really ill. So that's the Mel Cave, folks. Yeah, it's just a small room. Yeah, still got to work on it. But this idea of having, you know, my YouTubey live streamy desk here, and then, yeah, there is colour in your face. I know. Yeah, like I say, I need to find a way of making sure the cameras stay to their actual white balance settings, or actually, what you call it, just make it part of, right, make sure you white balance every camera. Tilt your key light up more towards the ceiling. The angle you have means the body of the light is bouncing. Your body is light by the bouncing light, but your beautiful head has been. Yeah, there's a bit of a direct angle for a bit of a glow. So I do need to sort of bounce it off the ceiling, diffract it a bit more. I really need to get some proper light bulbs, because the biggest issue I've got is I've got warm light there and blue light there. But we want Palpatine. Well, you've got a monitor, adjust your settings, you git. Right, sir. I missed the beginning. Do you move your house and drop the studios? No. I've still got the studios. Yeah, they're only down the road, but with the illness and everything like that, I've just been spending a lot of time at home. Let me go for a different. I've just been spending a lot of time at home, guys. I fully intend to get back into the studio and get into a routine and that sort of stuff. But my city has gone into tier 3 lockdown. Yeah, which means, you know, no unnecessary travel. Yeah. Secondly, from my point of view, I had a collapsed lung in June. You know, I'm still under the care of the respiratory panel. Yeah, at the hospital. And so, while a lot of people will go, oh, it's tier 3, there's more restrictions. From me, it's like, it's tier 3. There's more D-heads walking around without masks on. Yeah. And so, let's just say that I'm being a little bit protective of myself, you know? Other people, what they choose to do, that's down to them. Yeah. All I can do is, what you call it? All I can do is do the best for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you have a dog? Yeah, he's called Fluffy. Would you like to meet him? Oh, you can't. He's safety pinned to the door. Right, you're all going to be going, what the bloody hell? Yeah. He's safety pinned his dog to the door. It's a draft excluder. A novelty one as a dog. I call it Fluffy. I got it a bowl and everything. Right. So, Martin's retracted a message. Hey, that's not good. Do you plan to go to the studio or migrate it all home? No, watch it. The battle plan is, the way I'm looking at it is, get myself into a position while we sort of lead up till Christmas and the New Year of live streaming from home, get myself back into filming, get myself back into hobbying and engaging with you guys. Yeah, I don't see the rush to get back into the studios. Yeah, right now. One of the things is, if any of you guys remember what I say about the studios, they're bloody cold in winter. Yeah, I mean, they are freezing. They're not pleasant. You know, the studio complex itself. I mean, I keep my studios really warm because I work with wet materials, fillers, putties, paints, all stuff that, you know, needs to a dry environment, a warm, dry environment to cure and to dry. Yeah, so I've always kept my studios really, what you call it, you know, warm. But the studio buildings themselves are freezing. I mean, it's often warmer outside than it is in the building because they're made out of thick concrete, so they actually hold the cold. So it can be warmer outside, Yeah. So for example, you have a cold night, cold winter's night, the concrete gets freezing, sun comes out in the day, yeah, so you have like a mild winter's day, but inside the building, you're still walking around and you can see your breath. I mean, the building can get so cold, you get icicles inside it, yeah, whilst there's no ice outside. So from my point of view, with regards to rushing back to this, hell no, no, no. Also, I've got from a more practical point of view, I'm building myself back up, you know, health wise, that sort of stuff, you know, the lung stuff and, you know, the stress and a few Overwatch over the year. It's not my physical health back, you know. Having a pop lung means you can't really do much, you can't really exercise, you know, so you tend to lose muscle mass. And you've all agreed, you know, that Mel, you need to put some weight on, Mel. You know what I mean? And I am, yeah, but going into a cold environment like that, yeah, in my current state, it's going to hit me hard. Yeah, so instead, my plan is all right, look, getting to this point, yeah, no one expected it to take this long. No one expected me to have, you know, family problems, pop lungs, and all the rest. Yeah, but I did. So we're here. So we've got to deal with it. Yeah. So I don't see the rush now. You know, after what I've been through, guys. Yeah, and the fact that we're coming up to Christmas. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The book's done. It's going out. Everything's been well received. I've got a passion for my terrain again. I'm connecting with you guys, and it's really positive. I'm not going to rush that. You know what I mean? I'm here. I want to be with you guys for the next 10 years at least. Yeah, I don't actually see a point in my life where I step back from this. I mean, what reason would I have to? Even if it isn't a living or can't be a living for me and provide me a living, you know what I mean? If it goes back to being, you know, a hobby while I, you know, work in a warehouse or something, I can't see me stepping back from it because I love it. So I'm going to take my time and, you know, as long as you guys can keep me here, I'll stay here. Right, on that, I better check bloody PayPal. Thanks for supporting me and keeping me here, guys. I just forgot completely about it. That's all right. There's nothing to forget. I must be the only streamer who's like, oh yeah, right. That's all right, Mel. Take your time. Do things one leg at a time. So basically, it's like having a studio in it on a C of E church. Then, yeah, but without having that one little pew that's next to the one little like 3-bar heater that they've got mounted on the wall that they put up like 10 foot high, yeah, to radiate the heat downwards because, you know, physics and heat goes up into that big lofty ceiling in the church. Yeah, I remember that well. Sitting next to that sitting next to that I've got the heater. You didn't actually get any heat. You just got the impression that you were warmer than anywhere else. I hear Warlord Warehouses are looking for people to post books. I don't know. I don't know if that's a joke or perhaps Warlord have perhaps put out an appeal for temporary workers. I honestly don't know. Wherever you lay your PVA, that's your studio. That's very truly, I did. Hey Max, Mal, I got into the 15mm tanks game. Would you mind considering doing some terrain for that scale? Gary, first off, I like tanks. Me and Corbin play it. It's a good little game. Yeah, it's a nice intro game, to be truthful. Yeah. I also like tanks from the idea of wargaming terrain because 15mm tanks lets you scale it up a bit. You know what I mean? Your battlefield. Even though what you call it, tanks is played on a relatively smaller table. Yeah. You know me. Ooh, I could do this for it. Yeah. And so, yeah, what you call it? With regards to making terrain, the same principles apply, same techniques and materials, to be perfectly honest. It's really difficult to sort of say, you know, to give advice to drop down to like a subtly smaller scale, because not much changes. It's just all right, 28 mil bushes become 15 mil trees. It's all about size. All the materials and what you do and the paint and the grit and you lay down, it's all pretty much the same. You just scale everything down. So it is actually as try. I mean, there are things and there are materials which are better suited to one than the other. But when you try to like vocalize and try and actually give people that information of right, if you want to swap down from 28 mil to 15 mil, actually narrowing down what you want to work on and what you want, it's actually really hard, to be truthful. It's really hard to give advice on that. It's something I've always struggled with. Yeah, I think at some point what I'm going to have to do is force myself to do a 15 mil build. Yeah, to challenge myself. Yeah, to actually not just think about it, but to do it so that I can clarify, right, what's the differences? What information do I need to pass on? Will you be building and showing techniques from the home studio? Yeah, that's the plan of these live shows, the Tuesday and Thursday shows. The Sunday show is going to be the question and answers show. We're going to put a Word doc up for that, and we're going to do that in the usual way. Brooks is saying a lot of trees are actually pretty short for their scale, so larger trees and hedges will still work. Oh yeah, yeah, wargaming trees are definitely shrunk. You know what I mean? When you look at a real tree and you look at a person and then you look at a model next to a wargaming tree, it's like, nah. Yeah. And the only reason these small trees work, yeah, is because it's the standard across the industry and every table you see has small trees on. Yeah. And when people actually do proper size trees in scale, like they do at shows like at Salute and stuff like that, yeah, you get these amazing tables. But everyone's like, wow, don't the trees look big? It's like, no, the trees look realistic. You're just used to seeing them scaled down, just like the buildings. You know, we're so finicky over the scale of our models, yeah, and then we completely blasé about the fact that the entire table we play on, the scale is off in so many different ways. I mean, one of the most infuriating things as a terrain builder when you're trying to build a realistic table, yeah, is trying to combat, yeah, games designers, yeah, and I'm going to call them out, you know, the Alessios, the Ricks, the Hewitts. Oh, Jay, yeah, I'm telling you, these are friends of mine. Alessio Cavatori, I'm calling you out. A lot of them. James M. Hewitt, he was posting on my Facebook earlier and sending me links about toasty machines because I've just got one. Yeah, I'm calling him out. Games designers, you're a git for terrain makers. An absolute git. Oh yeah, Mel's on a rant. You brought me. I'm in the mood. I'm doing this. Fact, I'm changing camera to do this because I'm having these guys for this. We're going to do this and I'm going to stir the... Oh, I'm going to stir it. Oh, I am so going to stir it. We are doing this. We are so doing this. I am in the mood. Right. You can tell it's serious. I'm lining up my camera so I can do it properly because I am calling people out. Right. As a games designer, I will take copious notes. You tell them I want to spread the word. You spread the word to the historical, because the terrain tutor is calling them out as gits from a terrain building point perspective. Let me explain. Let me explain how they're. Oh, I need to fit this battlefield onto a table, so this is what I'm going to do with the rules to make it work. Oh yeah. Oh, Mel's getting antsy. Yeah. So, in wargaming, there's this thing. Yeah. And I can't remember the exact term for it. I did in the past, and I've mentioned it in the book. But it's like, when it comes to scale on the tabletop, yeah, it's like games designers, yeah, the rulers are elastic. Because to a games designer, yeah, 12 inches, yeah, is so far. Yeah. But 24 inches, another 12 inches, is further. But here's the special thing. It's further than 12 inches and 12 inches added together. Okay? It's sort of variable. And they do this, yeah? This idea that, well, if you're really up close, then you're close. But if you're far away, yeah, then actually that could be far away. Really, really far away. Actually much further than if we go in scale. Yeah? Oh, great. And that what this allows them to do is this allows them to have a model where they can have a pistol and it shoots 12 inches standing next to a howitzer, yeah, which can shoot, you know, technically miles, but can actually only reach perhaps 36 inches, 3 times the effective range of the pistol. But in game terms, oh, that's much further away. Yeah? So, they do this on the principle of, it's a game table. And I don't have to make it. Yeah? And people are saying, yeah, artillery on the same table as firearms. Yeah! I mean, let's not go into, you know, the Doomstrike missile from 40k. I mean, yeah, let's have a tactical nuke. Let's have an intercontinental ballistic missile on one side of the table edge that's going to strike over a building. Now, here's the problem. Yeah, that's great. You're just putting a few pieces down. But when, as a terrain builder, you want to build a realistic looking landscape, yeah, you put in features and paths. Yeah, and the idea that, and you do it on a table, it's not variable, you can actually see. I mean, look at the D-Day board. You can see how far the sea is, you can see the beach, yeah, and then you can see the headline, yeah. You look at that and you can see perfectly in scale a landscape. And then you've got mortars, yeah, that can't fire far enough to hit the bottom of the beach because the games developers have written it for a landscape that's variable. So you get this bizarre situation where when you're building tables and feature tables, you're stuck in this situation where you've got to sort of make a break in continuity between features. Yeah, like you've got to have like variable fields between little hamlets and stuff like that to give the idea that it could be further and to play with the game developers' rules. Yeah, and so to avoid that situation where you're firing, you know, mortars and small support weapons can't even hit, you know, the water line, you know, they're technically set up to defend because of the game rules. Yeah, and it's a bizarre situation. Yeah, because the scales are played round with in what you call it, in the actual game. So as a terrain maker making a landscape and trying to make it realistic, you're thrown against this challenge of these variable scales. I mean, you literally get to this situation of, oh, a pistol can fire 12 inches. Well, that's great, but I've made a small hamlet, yeah, and you know, it's got a few houses and it's got a few back gardens, and those 3 back gardens are each 4 inches wide, which is 12 inches. And now I've made a visual representation for the player of, yeah, that's a realistic. Your guy with a pistol can't shoot 3 gardens down. What? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, even players will make the assumption of that. Yeah, I should. And oh no, yeah. So it's a real challenge, and it's game developers. It's not my terrain building. My terrain building's in scale. It's them. Here endeth the rant. Mel, I think only Warlord and GW use the elastic ground scale. I don't see that with any rules. No, there's quite a few different rule sets that use it if you look at it. If you've got to remember, I look at rules very specifically from terrain, you know, and it's one of the things that I look for because I want to know, is this going to be a bugbear? Do you know what I mean? Do I have to fracture ground? Yeah. Fracture ground just basically means, do I have to make sure that even from a line of sight point of view, you know, there's broken ground, so you can't say, right, I can see clearly down this little country lane. Yeah, I'm going to take a pot shot at that tank, and someone goes, yeah, it's out of range. It's down a country lane. Doesn't gel, you know what I mean? So you have to make sure that country lanes turn, so no one sees all the way down a country lane. It's weird, the things you have to do. The Star Wars Legion as well, although it isn't formally stated. They don't state it, you know. In all fairness, I think that I think the only time I've ever seen it stated was in one of the 40k rule books, and that's the only time I've ever actually seen. And there's a term for it, and I'm sure it was either Rick. What's Rick's second name? I've known him for years. What's his name? Yeah, but Rick, Alessio, and all the standards, you know, and they actually named it and described that the game works on this principle. Because it was my first, when I read it, it was my first, aha, that explains it moment. Yeah, Rick Priestley, of course. Sorry, Rick. Why would a laser fire 20? What happens to the laser then? Does it hit 24 or give up? Take laser vacation? Effective in-game range. Yeah. The map is not terrain. I've seen that description in the Flames of War book, rule book too. Yeah. So as a terrain maker, it's a real challenge. Yeah, because you have to make a landscape that goes with that, or it breaks the game. Yeah. And I mean, for me, the first game I played on my D-Day board with a mate, yeah, while it was still in the studio and the water was still drying, we didn't play on the water. I mean, it was 99% there, yeah, but it hit me, yeah, when I went to like, right, I'm going to fire this mortar on those guys on the waterline, yeah, and it was like, they're out of range. And the cognitive dissonance it caused, what? Yeah. And so it's something it's a bugbear for me. Yeah. Because I know how it can affect gameplay. Yeah. Not only in the assumptions you make, because you make the assumptions based on the landscape. Yeah. Because there's one there when in normal games there isn't. Yeah. And the assumptions of the rules and that sort of stuff. But making good terrain is about enabling gameplay. Yeah, not creating terrain which makes the rules seem weird. Yeah, but I don't write the rules. I have to build the terrain to go with the rules. So I'm the one left picking up the pieces. Yeah, I want to make a really great realistic landscape, but it still needs to feel that it works with the rules. So right, okay, what sort of game is this? What sort of ranges? I mean, the worst thing for me when I come across making, if I'm asked when I did commissions, yeah, if I'm ever asked, you know, when I'm asked about, you know, will you do a display board for this or something like that? When I was asked, yeah, the thing that interested, one of the things I wanted to know was, right, what actual models and what battles are going to be played on this? And from my point of view, it's like, right, is this just like a skirmish game? You know, one vehicle, couple of guys, and I can keep it relatively all in scale because the weapons are all small arms. Or is this a situation where you've got small arms on the tabletop and you've got rear support weapons? You know, howitzers, mortars. If you've got that situation, then it's like, right, okay, you're playing over 4 foot table width at most. This scale, I've got to factor in scaling now. You know what I mean? He wouldn't finish it because he'd keep filling it with it. Yeah, so many good-looking tables just fall apart once you start playing on them. Sad. It is. It's a challenge. You know, making good tables, they've got to work for the game or it's a waste. Yeah, and so, I mean, for me, for the D-Day board was a real chipper. Yeah, it was a real kick in the guts because it was my first game on my D-Day board. You know what I mean? And I was only going to get one game on it while it was in my studio. And me not being able to fire mortars to my own beach line, yeah, it sort of spoiled the game for me. It sort of broke the table for me. And especially for me, it was a kick in the guts because it was like, because it's like, right, that's not just going to happen to me. And this is going off for people to play with, which is why when I gave it to Martin, yeah, the guy who commissioned it at Dyson Decks up at Southport, yeah, I sort of gave him rules with it, right, models deploy on the waterline, yeah, so it's like, right, if they deploy on the waterline, then I know first move they're going to be in range for, all the standard support weapons, so that's not a problem. I also, because the tables, you can't play a balanced game on my D-Day board because the D-Day beaches weren't set up to be balanced. Kind of open and coverless, and on the other side, concrete bunkers. That is not balanced. So, it's like, right, defender has to split half his force, toss a coin, and that's the force he gets, half of it. And he doesn't even know which half he's getting to make it balanced. So sometimes you have to adjust the games that are played on your tables so the rules work. Right, no large field weapons. You've got to limit it to small support, stuff like that. Yeah, and so sometimes you have to do that with the terrain. Yeah, with feature tables, and that's not too bad. Yeah, if they're going to be played on regularly. Yeah, or they're played on as a feature table, which means lots of different people play on them. Yeah, but when it goes to be a club board or something that gets to be used regularly, where the same people are playing on it quite a bit, it becomes a bit stale. Real combat is not supposed to be balanced. The last thing you want in combat is balance, because everyone dies. Balance brings attrition. I think the British Army, was you don't assault a position unless you outnumber it 3-1, on the basis that you're going to lose a third going in. Yeah, so you've got to end up with at least, twice as much as the other side. I like Chain of Command. It's nice. Another thing that is sniper and MMG ammunition are all different. The usual Lancaster rifle with a bayonet, like 500 men, sniper ammunition. Yeah, there's all sorts of what you call it, little variables, to be truthful. Yeah, absolutely all sorts when it comes down to these games. Yeah, and we do our best to sort of accept them and roll with them. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it can be a challenge when you're making realistic terrain or trying to make a realistic landscape. Yeah, as a terrain maker. It really can. We should put that quote on Mel's gravestone. Making terrain is about enabling gameplay. Yeah, it is. Actually, no, it isn't. No, I'll retract that. In fact, no, I don't retract that because it is. Yeah, I clarify it. Making good terrain is about enabling good memories. You make good terrain to enable good gameplay. We play these games with our friends for fun. Yeah. Some of our fondest memories when we're gaming, they're not the chats. They're not sitting at home making models and that sort of stuff. It's that one model, yeah, that somehow you rolled fives and sixes on for four or five turns, and he turned into Rambo. You know what I mean? And when it's played out on a beautiful table, and you can look down, and you really do get that immersive cinematic effect. Yeah, they make. I mean, one of my fondest memories, yeah, was a game that I played when Corbin was one, yeah, at Shrewsbury Gatekeepers, yeah, and it was my Imperial Guard against an Eldar force. The terrain was nothing special. It was sort of a defensive, seize each other's bases, and we were in corners, and I was playing Imperial Guard, so I was what you call it. I was in one corner. Yeah, there was no way, my base was getting lost with Imperial Guard because I'm defending. But there's no way I'm getting to the other side, and the other side is Eldar. Yeah, so it was a bit of a stalemate game. But in the middle, yeah, became this battle between a squad of Harlequins and Marbo. Just one Marbo. And for about 4 turns, yeah, my mate, what you call it, he rolled, his dice rolls weren't good enough. And Marbos were just good enough. Yeah. And this started like second turn. And by about fourth turn, we'd stopped doing anything with the other models. We'd just given up on them. And the rest of the game was this titanic battle, yeah, between Marbo and these Eldar dancing around this, this bunker, yeah. And he died, he lost, but he killed half of them. But it was so cinematic, and we were cheering. People had stopped playing, yeah, and had come round our table to watch how it was playing off. Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, you're gonna get that. Oh, is he gonna do it? Yay! And it was really, it's one of my fondest memories from gaming, from actually rolling dice. And I'm a very narrative gamer. I mean, you'll find this quite weird, but I narrate my games. Yeah, when I play games and that sort of stuff, I'll say what's happening, you know? I'll say such and such moving up there, fire's coming down, you can feel the pressure, he takes a single shot, fire, bang, does it hit? Roll, no, it misses, he crashed into the ground. You see the draws, so, you can see the guns lining down on him. Yeah, and then it's my mate's turn to take a shot. He says, yeah, all right, let's see if he gets shot. But I like narrating my games and getting into them, which is one of the reasons I really like really nice terrain, because it lets me immerse myself in that gameplay. This is why I build figures and not play games. I got tired of my creations dying. They're not dying, they're playing out in a film, they're actors. Once they've done their scenes, they go back to the studio, they sit on the shelves and come out. This opens up a whole new dimension to terrain. No, but that is it for me. Yeah? Book 2, Terrain Rants. No, there is a bit of that in the planning section and that sort of stuff of the book, to be truthful. Yeah? Because in the planning section where's the book? That's Jace's copy. I've still got to drop it off to him. Oh. No doubt as people are getting the book, they'll be showing little flicks and stuff like that. But I know Dave's shown this off in the past, so I don't mind showing this off. Yeah, but I work on a design principle. Yeah, and it's durability, realism, functionality. Yeah, and knowing what the terrain is for, will help you guide building the terrain and help you make decisions about how you build the terrain and what materials you use and where you place them. So for example, this model's going to a private collector. Put little fancy trees on it. He'll be gentle with it. This model's going to a tournament. Don't put fancy trees anywhere near that thing. Do you know what I mean? To keep it simple. Yeah. But in the actual designing, yeah, of the book, yeah, talking about what we, the different sort of environments you use, from lists to dreams to ideas, yeah. But where's this? Then all the paper, pencil, sketching it up, play testing, plans, yeah. But where? Right, okay. Terrain density, scenics, winter has come, kits, making your own, colour science, fighting the warp, making it modular. Pause battle map, spell base. Types of plans, yeah. Scales. So, lost in my own book there. Yeah. So terrain is really about enabling the game, yeah, for the purpose of making good gameplay, for the purpose of what we do this hobby for, which is having a good time. And to be truthful, I could do that a load easier if it wasn't for those bloody game designer gits and their elastic tape measures. You see, the problem is, yeah, when you write a rule book, I know this is a terrain book, but when you write a rule book, yeah, you can put an elastic tape measure in there. When you actually build the terrain for the game, you have to use proper tape measures that aren't elastic. And there'd be a problem. I still like your fantasy build, like the ones beside you. Oh, there's all sorts. Your book brought back my lost interest in building scenery. Thanks, Mel. I'm getting, my anodyn's running off. I can feel my headache coming on and getting warm. Hey up, sunshine. Good morning. Hello, Mel. Tanya's coming. Right, we got off track with this one, didn't we? Yeah, and I'm burning out. I think that my rant and everything like that and full going for it is just. I think I'm going to need to go have a hot bath and shake these bones. Right, guys. Listen, I am here. I did do the show. Yeah, I am back on Thursday, and I will colour balance. Yeah, on Thursday. Thursday we will build. Yeah, I think what you call it. I've got a hospital visit tomorrow. Yeah, so I think I need to have a good rest, to be perfectly honest, and shake this off. Yeah, otherwise I'm not going to be in a fit state. Listen, guys. Yeah, it's been a cracking night. Yeah, thanks for just coming along, joining me even in the ramble. Remember, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Sunday nights, live show at 9 o'clock. Yeah, we'll get back into the building because it's what I want to do, so don't worry about that. Yeah, the main thing is I connect with you guys regularly. Yeah, so let's just roll it. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'm going to see you Thursday. You know the drill. 10 taps, 4 for the hell, 1 for the space, 4 for the yeah, and 1 to put a smile on it. Sniffly, flued up, orange face. No distracting Mel. Let him crack. Yeah, bully me into building next Thursday. You distracted me with a rant. I'll see you later, guys. Ta.